think there makes a lot of sense just to get on, just to hear what people got to say. I don't know, but
Yeah.
like I said in the text, like I am pretty much done for this year. I think the Flames and the Mavericks have sank me. So I'm offering up the Rams, who right now are of a value of four, and I only paid one for this year. So I'm trying to sell them off for cap space next year.
Well, I've got $8 extra for next year, just sitting there waiting for you.
Are you at 10 teams or 11 teams?
I'm at 11, so you'd have to take a team off my hands.
Well, I may not really care because, I mean, it's sunk anyway. I might be able to make a
Yeah,
deal for the Panthers. They only got 1 year. I don't
that's
want to take
true.
anything beyond 2025, but I could take the Panthers off your hands for the Rams.
Can you explain the salary cap thing again and trading cap space? Like
Yeah,
we go over it one time and I forget.
that is a very fair question, John.
So whenever you trade, you can pretty much negotiate everything, but what you see is what you got. So like, take any team you got. Like say I take mine, I've got Chiefs for the next 3 years, 50 apiece. So I'm gonna trade them. Somebody has to take the 50 apiece for the next 3 years. So unless you somehow negotiate it out between the two of you, so that you don't have to carry that, maybe they'll keep some of it themselves. But that's
Yeah.
how it works.
But remember when you were saying about trading the Chiefs and for the Celtics, and the Celtics cost more, but I would carry. I don't remember that. That's what I'm getting confused on.
Yeah, that's
Like
what
how
I was
you
gonna say
carry it.
before.
It
Like I
doesn't
didn't
have to
want to take any
match
more
up.
cap
Like
space. So what I would have done, for example, for that is like I would have taken. So it's 66 for the Celtics. I would have given you the Chiefs, but for the Celtics, an extra you have to carry an extra $16 against the cap because I didn't want to take any more cap space on. You know what I'm saying? So you'd be taking the Celtics for you would be carrying $16 against the cap for the next couple years at least. Which actually now I'm starting to
like
think about that again.
it's like dead cap weight.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Like I traded Colin a team, and I traded him the Padres, and as part of the deal is I wanted extra cap space for next year. So essentially, he got the Padres, and I got more cap space for next year, so I can go after the Padres whenever they're free agents. So
Oh,
you can use the dead space, you can use that cap space as kind of a tool to whether you want to win now or you want to win in 5 years. Like if you have somebody in free agency, like you look, they're 76ers. Let's just use them as an example. They're playing amazing. They've got young talent. You see them as a free agent. You're like, you know what? I want that NBA team whenever they come up in free agency. I'm probably going to need $40 to bid on them. I only have 30. Well, you've got to find a way to trade and get that $10 from somebody else, which means you may have to give up something today that's benefiting you, but may not be there in 2 or 3 years whenever the 76ers are hitting you 5 points a week or 5 points a season.
give me an example, like with one of my teams, like how I would gain cap space. I guess what I'm looking for is the opposite of what Doug said, where I'd be carrying
Do you want cap
dead
space?
cap space. I don't know. Not really, but I'm
Oh,
just like trying
right.
to figure this out in my head.
Right now you're at 181, so you are really high on the cap space. You only have $19 of cap space. Whereas, look at like myself, I have 25 this year, but then I have an additional $8 on top of that next year. So you're still kind of landlocked, whereas I'm not. So if you look at your team, so the easiest way to clip off a lot of your cap space, the Celtics. So you would say, look, I'm going to get rid of the Celtics. And somebody's like, well, I don't want to pay $66 a season for the next 5 years. So you would entice them with something else, like Brewers or Phillies. Well, the total, let's just go Phillies. So the total is $83. Well, they've got to balance that out in their books, make that work. So they're going to have to give you $83 worth of stuff for it, unless you sit there and trade them cap space for later seasons and all that stuff. Because again, you can't have $500 in cap space whenever your salary cap is $181. So you would have difficulties trading those, knowing that that's a lot of extra money that somebody would have to have on their books.
Yeah, so it's like we can't go over the 200, but we can carry dead cap space within our 200.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
So that's the reason why, like, I look at a lot of high dollar short term contracts. I kind of like a lot better than those long term contracts. Now, the $1 for like the Cardinals, you know what? They may be a 1 or 2 point team, or they might be a -1 or -2 point team, but they're only costing me $1. So I've got a lot of flexibility with it. Whereas you've got the 76ers for 5 years at $66, there's no flexibility. You have the fingers crossed for the next 5 years with the Celtics. So that's the reason why whenever you try to trade the Celtics, even if they're a value of 5, it would be difficult to try to get somebody to take that onto their books for 5 years. Because, if you have the Celtics, you're probably not getting the Dodgers. You're probably not getting, the Mets. You might not, I don't know. Most of your teams are 5 years, so it doesn't really matter. So, but I think a lot of your team is going to be in your free agency is going to be a lot of the taking a waiver on somebody that you feel really good about. That's going to be, a $10 team.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, for me to make change, that was kind of the plan I had going in, is just trying to pick up deals later on. The trading I figured was going to be pretty hard. That's why I was more willing to do 5 years on everything.
Yeah, and I was looking at the Bengals were a really good pickup, because I don't know if you had the same strategy I had, but I looked on the sports books. I looked at win totals, and the Buccaneers and the Bengals were the two that had the positive win totals at like 8.5 or 9.5, 9.5. So they were going to have a positive. They were projected by Las Vegas to have a positive win season. So it was very little risk for possible reward.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. And then I figured the best with the NFL, I mean, any team that has a really good quarterback always has a chance. But then when Burrow went out, that was the end of this year.
Now you just gotta kind of hope that he comes back in. You get that spark at the end of the season, and they get you, pull off from that negative 2 or 3 and get you like a 0.
Yeah, it's funny when we're rooting for zeros.
I know.
Well, I mean, I'm definitely willing. I don't know if anybody else is coming on, but I'm willing to trade any of my NFL teams. I'm gonna sit tight probably with my baseball and hockey teams. Basketball teams, I have no clue. That I don't know. The Celtics are usually pretty good this year. They did a whole thing. So, but if anybody's interested in any of my NFL teams, definitely up for grabs if anybody wants them.
Would you want cap space for the 49ers? Oh, I can't. I gotta trade a team. I'm landlocked on teams.
Yeah, I'm not. Cap space would be interesting to me, mainly because all of us are going to be probably trying to go after the Blue Jays. But
Yep.
I mean, in the end, though, like you said before, like if you have the most cap space right now, and you do get the Blue Jays, I mean, then somebody else will probably have the most cap space. I guess you'd have to get rid of a team though to even be able to bid on the Blue Jays.
Well, the good thing is that as soon as the football season's over, I lose the Panthers. So I have
okay, I see.
So I should be okay. Hopefully by free agency.
Once they drop off, you'll have I got you.
Yeah.
I got 3 teams coming off. I got on 1 year deals.
Yeah. I like the flexibility because you know what? They
Oh,
do better. I re-up with them. I pay a little bit more, but you might hit that gym in free agency, and like I think Colin thought he had the team whenever Detroit was getting the 5 points for $1 or $2, and then by the end of the season they're only worth 2 points. Still only paid $2. Just it's one of those things where he could have made bank trading them at a 5, but
yeah. To me, going into
How
this,
many?
like the only thing I thought was
How,
totally worth long term with a lot of money was like a baseball team that you know is going to spend, which is why I spent all my money on the Braves.
yep,
That didn't work out
yeah.
me for the first year, but
Well,
we'll see how that goes.
Braves are just snake bitten, man. It's not the Braves are still probably one of the best. It's kind of like Braves. I put in that second tier, like Astros, Braves, Phillies. They're always going to spend money. Padres. They're always going to spend money, but maybe not as much as the Dodgers. Maybe not as much as the Mets. But they'll definitely sit there and try to mix it up with teams. So you're always in the mix with them.
Well, I'm gonna wait to see Colin comes on until I try to push my Rams. I don't know if he's got anything he can trade anyway.
Well, I know he's at 11 teams as well. So, but I also know he has no problem getting rid of cap space for going after it this year. So,
He's got the Padres. I might be able to, no, Padres is a 0. Might be able to take that one off
yeah.
him. How much cap space does he have for next year? He's gonna have 20 for next year. Hmm. You've got more cap space.
Yep. I do. That's what I'm saying. That's kind of what I was looking at. Yes, I lost the Padres for a year. Yes, that was 3 points. It really sucked, but it sets me up next year kind of sweet.
All right. Well, if nobody else is gonna get on, and John, if are you interested in the Rams, John?
Ooh.
yeah, I'm interested. I don't know what I can offer you because I can't sell you my cap space. I'd have to take one of your teams off you, wouldn't I?
No, you can just
Like if
sell.
you
No.
want
You can just give me cap space for it. I want 2026 cap space.
Oh my. There you go.
That's all I
Kind of
want.
like I did with the Padres with Colin.
Just 2026 cap space. That's all I want. I'm just trying to sell it. It's a rental. It's just so you can make a run at it this year.
so
What puts you in the lead?
give me a proposal.
I mean, I'm basically the highest bidder. I mean, whoever wants it, and you're willing to pay me $5, $8, $10, whatever for 26 cap space, it's yours.
Yeah, it's $19, Doug.
Because I have
Yes.
I have a
And I would
3.
also tell you that puts John in the lead. He does that deal with you, that puts him in the lead. So he's got serious incentive to sit there and make this happen. So
He
don't go
does. He
cheap
does
on
have
him.
incentive.
Don't go cheap on him.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
thinking.
fine.
I'm just
I've
like
talked to the lead
if I
president
said
about feature
10
money.
bucks.
Because I'm going to have 3 holes coming in next year. I'm going to add 3 teams. So I want extra cap space
Yeah.
for next year.
Yeah.
And I'll probably be doing the
Yeah, if
same
I'm
thing
gonna
next year. I'll be having a couple guys, adding a couple teams that are just on 1-year deals.
if I'm gonna have a chance to win this thing, this year's gonna be my best because of the 2 baseball teams both getting 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. So like, I don't know, my brain ain't working right now. So if I offered you, let's say I just let's make it even number 10 of my cap space, then I get the Rams, but they're only worth 1. What happens in 2026? Explain that to me again.
So 2026, I'll have your 10 cap space, and you'll have 10 less.
Yeah.
But then I'm not at 200 anymore. Or do the Rams then count as 11? No, see, that's where I get confused.
You'll
I
be
mean,
at
right
11
now
teams,
you
then
have
you're only at 10
$19
teams. You'll at 11. Yeah.
Yeah, you have $19 of cap space for next year. So if you were to try to get a free agent, you would have $19 to spend on free agency the whole season. That's with teams dropping off. That's with all that. You have $19. On the other
Right.
side of it, you trade Doug. You go, you know what? I'll take the Rams this year, and I'll give Doug that $10 of that. That means you only have $9 all next year, and with that $9, you have to decide if you want to get any teams. And you don't. The honest thing, you don't have to get any other teams. So if you don't see something in free agency, don't bid. You'll just have one less team than everybody else or one or two less teams because the Rams will be at free agents. So you won't re-up with them, but you'll have them for this year, and you'll also get there probably 2 or 3 points this year.
So how do I still have $200 if I sell you cap space? That's what I can't wrap my head around.
So it's $200
Well,
total.
you'd have 190.
Okay, that I can wrap my head around. So that's what it would
You'd
look
have
like, and Doug would have,
You'd have
210.
190. Yeah, exactly. Doug would have 210. You'd have 190. Like I have 208 next year. Colin has 192 next year.
Okay, that I can wrap my. That's correct then, Doug. That's what you're.
Yeah.
thinking? Okay, yeah, I can wrap my head around that. Okay, that makes sense. For some reason, I was thinking we all had to even out and stay at 200.
Oh, no. Not if you try to get more. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess across, if you want to put it that way, make it easier. It's like across all eight teams, you would have to have, what is that? 200 times 8.
1,600. So
1,600.
we have to stay at 1,600
Yeah.
for the league.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right, that all makes sense, and I'm understanding this now. Well, I'll start the bidding off of 5.
Well, I can't bid against you, so it's pretty much whatever Doug will accept. And I would tell Doug,
I'll go to the highest
this is
bidder,
giving you
really.
the championship. So I would not lowball. I would not take a lowball offer. Just throwing it out there. But I can't bid. I have 11 teams. I'm landlocked. Otherwise, I would outbid you on this.
Well, all right. But in this case, I will be willing to take for the highest for you, just so you can get the bid. I'll take the Panthers off if you want. So they're -1, so now you're going to be at a 5-point swing.
Now things just got interesting. Then I would definitely give up the $8 I have from Colin for next year. So I would go $8 plus the Panthers.
Which Panthers is it? The football Panthers?
Yeah, Carolina.
So you're getting rid of a negative and gaining a good team. I'm trying to figure out how to counter that.
See, now everybody didn't show up for trading. They're going to be like, what?
Yeah, hey, that's the thing. I mean, they don't want to show up. Colin, I said it to Colin. He said he's getting on. Doesn't get on. That's on Colin. So
I gotta think for a second. How are the Rams not at 5 points? I thought they had the best record in the NFC.
I don't know. That was Friday. Last Friday I updated that.
Okay, that's why. It probably
I was gonna
They
changed.
probably won again since then.
Kansas City's now got a winning record. So I mean, you're positive on Kansas City now. So
What other teams do you have for a year, Doug?
The Hawks and the Mavericks. Hawks are actually pretty good.
Yeah, the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, I'd be one to sell them too, I guess.
What are they at right now, points wise?
1.
So they're okay. So they're
They're not a
average.
negative.
Let me think for a minute.
Yeah, not the Mavericks. You don't want them. They have not
Yeah.
been good.
So would I get my cap space back in 2027?
Yeah, it's only for 1 year. I'm only selling it for 1 year. I mean, I could be really brutal and be like more, but I don't know. I don't think anybody's gonna take
More
that.
years.
I don't think anybody's gonna do that
Yeah.
for 2 years. Not unless you really wanted it. This
I
is
gotta
the
look at
year.
I gotta look at the records or something. Hold on.
This is the year. It's got to be this year. When I'm ordering to my entire future for it. Now, I like the idea of doing the 1 year, like you were talking about, just like really short deals, because man, there's so much
Yeah.
stuff that could go wrong. Like I don't know, the 5 year deals, wow, they're crazy. How can you predict what they're going to be like in 5 years? Like I get the idea that like you get like a really strong organization and everything, but I mean, oh man, it's so tough. You take the Calgary Flames, and my buddy was one of the ones that told me you should bid on the Flames. That's the guy that does the Inside Pittsburgh Sports, and I was like, all right, because he told me they got like the top 10 prospect base, and they got tons of picks, and they're gonna pin around. And at that time, they were like borderline playoff team, and then they came out this year, and they were just terrible. So now all of a sudden, I don't know if I'm regretting the entire thing, but it was definitely not what I was expecting. So, and I got from 5 years. So cheap at 5 years, but if they don't, once these picks don't start to pan out, I mean, like, all right, well, I'm just screwed myself for 5 years.
If you take the Bengals from me, I'll give you. If you give me the Rams and you take the Bengals, I'll give you 15 in cap space.
15 in cap space for taking the Bengals.
And you give me the Rams.
That's
What would
But I gotta take him
what
for
would
three
that be?
years. I gotta take him for 3 years.
Exactly. That's why I gave you a lot of cap space.
Uh,
But I only got them for a dollar.
yeah,
I
but
think we're gonna have to add a drop mechanism in this, or a buyout, like you were saying.
yeah,
You take the Panthers from me 1 year. I get the Rams from you, and I'll give you $12.
$12 in cap space.
$12 in cap space.
I
You get Collins 8 plus 4 from me.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for me to pass on that, John, just because like I appreciate what you had to do with the Bengals, but like I can't. I'm trying to go for next year. There's no way of me knowing the Bengals are gonna be a lot better next year. I'm not talking about trying to take on 3 years.
Yeah, I understand. So the the Rams, if they finish, they're probably gonna finish at 4 or 5, hopefully top 6 teams. So we're looking at 4 or 5 points. What are the Panthers at right now?
The -1, I think.
-1. Yeah,
They're
negative 1.
-1.
But the thing that's got me is that I've got the Buccaneers, so every time, that they're fighting in the division, so they play twice, so I'm lose at least twice a season. I don't like that.
Yeah. And then the Rams drop off next year, and then I would only have, okay. Let me look at one other thing.
I mean, I could sell the Hawks to you pretty cheap if you want to take a flyer on them.
Nah, I don't. I'm gonna pass on the NBA.
What about the Caps? Would you have any interest in the Capitals? I only got them
How
for
many
2
years?
years. I only
How
got them
many years you have?
just for 2 years.
Nah.
Oh, that's all my short-term ones. Still mildly interested in talking about the Celtics again, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. 66 is a lot.
But it's also a long-term investment because the Celtics are going to be a team that players want to go to. So I mean, you've got good coaching, good system, good GM, and a team that wants it. So I say that -2 that they're at right now is definitely an anomaly, not a normal thing. I think that they'll probably finish the season at 3 or 4 points, if not a 5. But that's what you're paying for with that money. So
Yeah,
I would say there's probably less risk with taking the Celtics than there was whenever I traded for the Oilers.
what would you want? What would you want for the Celtics? Because since I'm already going to 2026, I can push on to that, I guess.
I'd want a lot. It's
I'm going to have to give you a lot because of the cap space alone.
yeah, but like Mike just said, it's gonna end up being. Hopefully, they're one of the top 5 teams the next 4 years out. I mean, they usually are. That's
Yeah.
why. That's what I'm banking on. If they suck for 3 years, then it was the worst decision ever. It'll be on par with the Braves. I'm hoping they just end up like a Braves thing this year. You know what I mean?
Right,
Yeah, you
yeah.
knew with Tatum going down in the playoffs with an ACL, you knew that this year they would take it on the chin. It's kind of like the Pacers. They knew this year they'd take it on the chin, but I don't remember if Tatum's coming back by the end of the season or if he's out the whole season. But either way, I mean they'll be set. Just this year's taking it on the chin.
Doug, this is the last trading opportunity for this season in this league, right?
That's right.
Today, as us 3 are talking.
Well, technically to the end of the month. You do it all month long, but I guarantee the other guys aren't going to be trading anything. If they really cared about trading, they
Yeah.
would have got on. So
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They would have probably been looking to do it now. That's a tough call. Just looking at what teams are available for next year, like to bid on for $1 or $2. I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat that. I'm trying to get the same value, but adding 5 points. I'm almost like trying to counter that so Mike doesn't get an extra 5 points. I'm not even looking out for my team.
I mean,
Oh,
like other
boy.
sports do this all the time. They go and they trade a whole bunch of draft picks for one player to push them over the edge. I mean, that's basically what he's doing.
Who's in first right now, and by how many points
Aaron is.
compared to me? And how far back am I?
I think you're at 16
One.
and he's at 17.
Yep, you're only back by 1.
Yeah, I'm back at 13. That's the reason why I need this swing. That swing takes me from
Yeah.
13 to That'll
Yeah,
put me the lead.
You and I are both like, if either of us get this, it's gonna change our entire outlook.
I know. That's the thing. It doesn't guarantee that you're going to win.
Right.
But, man, it makes it a whole lot easier.
I'm getting well, yeah, basically it's boiled down to whatever one of us doesn't get the Rams is getting double screwed.
Yeah. Well, the thing that you have to remember is that, like, I did the deal to trade the Padres for this year to Colin for that $8. Well, I got that $8 so that I could get the Padres next year. So not that's going to necessarily give it away that, you want to outbid me on the Padres, go for it. But I'll go for the Blue Jays then. But either way, I mean, I did it so that I could get a baseball team that I believe in. So I was in that mode of what Doug's in right now at the trade deadline last time. So I know the feeling of both ways of, hey, I'm going to make my team better by trading, or hey, I'm going to make my team better by getting money or cap space.
Yeah, at that point you were convinced that you weren't going to be able to do anything. You were already on 2026. I remember that.
Exactly. Yep. I had pretty much because of the Panthers, because of the Carolina Panthers, not the Florida Panthers that I thought I was bidding on, but because of the Carolina Panthers, I pretty much wrote this season off. So
And then you would jump from right it off in the first.
yeah, hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, that's that team that is thinking about selling at the trade deadline, ends up buying, and they make that playoff run. That's what we're doing.
I might be willing to sell you
I have what?
the Kings. Are you interested in the Kings? I might be able to sell them.
Ooh,
The LA Kings?
Yeah, I like Kings.
What are they at right now?
2.
there are 2.
I got them for
He's
3
got it
years
for
though.
3 years,
3
only
years.
$1.
Yeah, $1 a piece.
What would you want for them?
I guess like $8 in cap space. 2026 only. I'm not gonna make you do it for 3 years.
Then I keep them for 3 years or just get them this year?
You keep them for 3 years, yeah.
And then I get my 8 back in 27.
Yes.
But I'd have 11 teams.
Yeah, you'd have 11 teams. And you couldn't buy anything in free agency, I guess. Because you don't have anything falling off.
Yeah, that solves that problem, doesn't it? I'll
So you wouldn't need
I'll
the cap
up my
space
offer
then.
on, I'll up my offer on the Rams to let's just finish up with the Rams and then I'll up my offer on the Rams to 14.
14. What did you said 12? Wow, 14? Yeah.
That is impressive. Let me crunch some numbers.
I guess if we can finish with the Rams first, then we can move on. If you want to sell anything else, Doug, got to the Kings.
You take the Panthers off my hands, I'll offer you 16.
Wow.
I have 18 in cap space. You said
19. 19.
19. Ooh. What are we at? 16. You said 16?
Yep.
Now let's just do it one at a time. I'll do 17.
I'll do I'll do 19. There you go.
Yeah, I'm out then. I need $1. I need to have at least $1.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So this goes to
That was pretty good.
I like that, man. But you still, in all fairness, John, you still have the opportunity to trade to get like the Hawks or something like that if you're wanting to offer him salary cap for next season on something.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and move on to the Kings now.
Oh, there you go, even better.
So how much cap space does that leave you for next year then?
Well, I had 8 already from Poland, so that only really pulled 11 from my cap, and I had 25. So I've got 14 for next year.
That's still pretty healthy.
Yeah. It's not Padres healthy. Definitely not Blue Jays healthy. But it'll get me somebody for $1.
Yeah, Doug and I were talking right after this was literally right after we did the auction. And I was like, I don't know how, maybe you or somebody else did think of this, but I was thinking in my head, like, why didn't we just bid on everything? Any high team, like over $10, we should have just taken for 1 year. Because if you had the most at the end, like the Dodgers, for example, if you would have bid 100, 150 even, let's say, 150 for 1 year, you would have been left with the most cap space at the end of the year. You could have got them back for cheaper.
Not necessarily.
Well, unless somebody else caught on.
Like, yeah, 100%. If you bid on the Dodgers and you bid $150 for 1 year, I am going to go cheap on the rest of my teams.
Yeah, if you at the end, it was like it didn't work that way. But yeah, I see what you mean. Like if somebody else was at it, wait, what the heck is going on?
I think, and honestly, if you look at the strategy, most of the teams that went for 40, 50, 60 plus dollars all went for 5 years. Because
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you want the Dodgers for 5 years. You want the Yankees for 5 years. I don't want to chance it in a year that somebody's going to bid 151.
Somebody would have left themselves with that much.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, I would strongly consider it. I am a huge Shohei Ohtani fan. I would love to have the Dodgers.
Yeah, I'm regretting that I didn't go higher on them. I ended up second on them. Oh well, though.
They're worth every penny that Aaron paid for them.
All right, Doug, you have that cataloged.
Yes. Yeah, I'm good.
All right, so would you take 5 for the Kings?
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Would you take 4?
No, I'd take 5. I'll take 5, no lower.
But I'd have to keep him for 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
But it's $1, so
Kings are a pretty safe pick. I mean, they're never really that bad. Kings are never that bad. That's why I took them. They're never going to be like near the cup much, I don't know, but they're never bad.
I got to get off here, so thank you very much, John. It was great talking to you. Thanks a lot, Doug. I always appreciate you, man.
Yep, thanks for getting on.
Yeah, same to you, Mike. Have a good one, bro.
Hey, you too. Thanks.
Yeah, I can do 5.
Here's what I'm thinking. This is what I gotta try and work out. You said the Hawks are like at 1, and then the Kings are like at 2.
Yeah.
Is there any deal? I'll up the cap a little bit. Any deal? And the Hawks are 1 year, and the Kings are 3 years. Am I correct?
Right.
Is there any deal you would do with taking the Bengals off my hands this year? Could you take the Bengals just for 1 year?
No, I can't do that, unfortunately.
No.
I'd have to take the entire thing. I can't really take the Bengals just because of that.
You don't think they're going to do good with Joe Burrow?
I don't know enough about NFL to really get into it, to be honest with you. Like, that's a really sketch trade for me, just because I don't really know about the NFL enough to really be like, okay, yeah, that could pan out for me. I'm really just trying to get a bunch of money to make a run at it next year. That's why I'm willing to move some things, but I'm not willing to take on a 3-year thing. It would have to be somebody I like. I mean, maybe I could take the Cavaliers off you or something, but you're not going to move them. So
No, I'm sure. Yeah, see, I'm just trying to think the math. If I'm stuck for 3 years, then my cap space doesn't even matter unless I do a trade again. And at that point, I'd be so limited next year that a trade would be probably almost impossible to do because I'd have to trade a team since I'd have nobody dropping off if I took the Kings.
yeah, you'd have to trade another team, I guess, at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, let
which
me
is
see
gonna
what if there's
be
anything you want. I can let me look and see if there's anything you have that I'll actually take. That's so the Bengals is the
since
only
I
thing you want to
can't.
get rid of, right?
Um, I mean, I would trade anybody, any of my NFL teams. I trade, but I would trade any of my teams. But it'd have to. It's hard to. Some of the bigger names
It's 5
that
years.
takes a lot longer than sitting in one session talking.
So everything is 5 years. Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. So you don't want to move in your you don't move in your hockey team, so I don't blame you for that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the only thing you can do is really try to, if you want to take the Kings, you can take the Kings and um, make a run with it this year.
Yeah, and this year's gonna have the lowest payout to whoever wins.
Yeah, did you see my poll?
Yeah, I think I answered it.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, because I like that so much better because there's gonna be times like this year for me that just basically stink because I can't do anything. Like I'm basically irrelevant, and I'm already pushing to 2026. But I also have teams like the Stars that could end up winning the Cup, so I feel like I should have something into it for that. And so that's why I'm like, if you have a bad year, the idea of having a teams to go after the money, like going winning their championship, you're getting money for that. That way, you're always in it, regardless of. I mean, you have to have a team. You have to have your entire profile would have to be awful to just not care about any of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'd have to be like, you'd have to have like four -3 to 5 teams.
Yeah. Which everybody's going to at least always have somebody in it in the playoffs that you can potentially make money off of. So that makes it interesting, like the entire year, even if you're not doing well. The same thing for like Matt. Like Matt is uh, a -15, but he's got the Broncos.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So like
minus
he actually has
15.
one team that's really doing well. Yeah, he's having a horrible year, but he has one team that's doing really well. So like he could go on and actually do something. But as is, he's just like, I'm not even gonna bother because my entire thing's bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm looking at Do you have it up? I'm looking at Mike's team now. Do you have it up in front of you on the computer? Aaron's second at 17.
Say again? I have him up, yeah. Mike's?
Mike's now 1. Aaron's now 2, and then am I 3 after that trade you just did?
Yeah, you're 3.
And I'm at 16.
You're at 16. Yeah. You gotta realize too, a lot of stuff is like these numbers are not that accurate. The only one's completely accurate is the baseball because a lot of the other ones already have ties. So if you go and look at it right now, like there's a ton of ones out there. There's a bunch of negative ones for hockey. Just because like it's all ties. And the tiebreaker
Oh
is going
yeah,
to
yeah,
be like the points disparity or whatever, but I'm not going to go through that until the very end because it's such a pain. So right now, just based upon where they're at in the standings, there's like a ton of ties right now. So, I mean, that may play into it. Um,
Oh, let me look at one more thing and then. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to take the Kings. It's too. I mean, if the Rams, that's the thing is there's so much time left in the NHL season, right?
yeah,
Like they could easily end up with a negative. That's a big risk. Where the Rams, I'm fairly confident, are going to end up with a 4 or 5. You see where I'm coming from?
yep, yeah. It is tough.
That's the problem.
Hockey's so tough. It is really tough.
Yeah, it is. I mean, look at the Penguins, man.
They were up
Those
and now they're
stupid
down.
overtime losses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's killing us.
In the
Yeah, I
beginning,
don't
I
think
was
I can take the Kings.
in the beginning I was pissed about the Penguins because I was like, man, why didn't I take them? Because I thought they were going to be a lot better. And now they're losing again, so I don't know. But I don't know. All right,
Would you sell? Would you sell the Hawks for like $2 or $3?
yeah, I don't care. You can take them for $2 or $3.
I'll buy the Hawks if you want to sell the Hawks for $2 in cap space next year. I'll take them. Take a risk on that
All right.
because they drop off, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's this year.
Then I'd be able to add it. Yeah, I could do that. I could take a risk. But if you want to get rid of them, $2 for them, I'll do that. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm working on it right now.
Okay. So that gets you $2 extra for next year. And then you're out. We're both out of the Hawk. Yeah, that'll work out. Because they could still end up with a -1. I'll take that risk. So hopefully they get a 1 or a 2. It might help me.
You said 2, right?
Yeah. That's double what you paid, right?
Yeah, I didn't pay anything for it. At the free agency, I was just like, well, I saw what happens with the Braves, and I figured I was just gonna take a couple swings, and if they panned out, they panned out. If they didn't, oh well.